Welcome to this week's Tuesday Update. I hope you are doing well. We're focused in a lot right now on making sure that we have some of the people call them basics in line. I want to take a deeper dive into that today, where we talk a little bit more towards the lines of holes in the boat. And some of you may be thinking, well, what does that mean in my business? Holes in the boat are things that might have been a little bit different from last year or the year before that has changed. In other words, what's your communication to your database? We talk a lot along the lines of similar things throughout coaching, but when you have downtime, or I would call it the waiting time, what does it look like in your office during that period of time? What's it look like with your team engagement? And do you have your teeth out? In other words, are you hungry? If you're not going after some of the extras in your business, like right now is a great time to pull all of your employer list from everything you closed this year and start marketing to them and telling the agents that you're doing it. Why don't you do it normally? Well, because maybe you don't need the extra. But when times slow down, leads slow down, you have to think about what are the extras that I want to go do and make sure that I'm in front of them so they see me when they need me, right? So database is not about calling them when you refinance. It's about calling them because it's a 6-month check-in. It's about calling them because it's 30 days after closing and asking specifically for the business or the introduction or the post that they could do for you on social media and sharing about what your team does. You know, you start to look at all the legs that are in this business. And as it slows down, which many of us have, I've heard it on several calls that, I've slowed down, leads are down a little bit. Well, if that's the case in your business, maybe not good for you, but there are times where it shifts. What do you do when it shifts? You have to take into account the holes in the boat, and it doesn't mean it's got a bad leak. It just means that you have to fine tune it, make it that much more crisp. You know, so when I think of doing extras to get business, I think of how can I show the partners that I work with doing things on their effort as well. The employer list is a big piece. I think making introductions that you may not normally have taken the time to do, where you could shift to a realtor introduction to a financial planner or a commercial banker, go to a luncheon. Those are the things we're talking about. So what I would be looking at now is what are some of my fallout that I have from my pre-approvals that don't use us. So I get them approved, and they don't end up going with us. Maybe they shopped at whatever. Talk about shopping email that I've done the work for you. That could be in your first emails out to the client. I'm talking about not just that email where you say, hey, I want to make sure I've done the shopping for you, but I also want to talk about the email that says, hey, if you're looking at new construction, they offer you a kick-ass deal. We got something for you. Make sure you call me. So where did the leads go? Are you reviewing your lead reports right now? What are you doing in the downtime? The downtime is time for branding. The downtime is for filling holes. The downtime is for the extra legs in the business. Like, let's say you closed 10 loans in the last couple months, and you haven't asked all of them, if they would be like an introduction to a financial planner or a CPA or a trust attorney, or do they have a will in place? Those are the kind of things that I would slow down on the 30-day call and make sure that we have you covered going forward. So some of the systems, right, when we get busy, get loose. Asking for a referral gets loose. Now it should be really tight. That's my point. So every call should be tracked. You should be talking to your team. Hey, how many times are you asking today for the business? How many communication cycles are we going through? So if you had a great conversation, did you follow up with an email to them? So, or text, or whatever, but are there multiple hits? Then are you letting the agent know or the partner that you're working with know about what you've done and the success you're doing with them or for them or on their behalf? If right now you've closed loans and you're slow, I would pull the closed loans that I just did and I would send a postcard out to 50 of them in the neighborhood and see if they're interested in buying, selling, and put the realtor on it with you. So these are the things like out of the box. They're not really out of the box. Some guys just go to open houses. I was on a call with a guy earlier that we would talk about, make sure you have all your stuff on the agent's listings, lender incentives or whatever it might be, a 2-1 buy down, 1-0 buy down, some kind of I'm the preferred lender on all of their listings. Maybe it's open houses. Maybe it's you tagging them on a closing. Some of us fall short of doing all the reviews each time we close a deal for one of the realtors. Do you have that going on in your business right now? Or you see, the things I'm talking about right now, employer list, reviews for agents, introductions to financial planners, CPA, trust attorneys, wills, things like that. I think those are what go by the wayside when we get busy. That's why I'm bringing them to the forefront. Expired pre-approvals, what's the campaign, what's the phone calls, what's the reason to update them? What about even just paying attention to the people who we put a pledge out there for and making sure that they're hearing from us about what rates are doing? If we closed them last year and they're wondering, what are rates doing, they shouldn't wonder, it should be from you. So if you don't have something going out to those, these are slow time tasks to be implemented. Now, the best part about doing this would be keeping them implemented in a simple process once it gets busy. So if you get into a habit of, I'm going to pull the employer list, I'm going to pull my expires, I'm going to pull all my closed loans and make sure they have a financial planner or CPA or trust attorney. If you're pulling them all when it gets slow and it never sticks in the business, why? Why not make it a simple enough system that it can last longer? So instead of doing all these things I just called out as good ideas while you wait, I'd much rather have you do one and get it systemized so it sticks. A guy I was talking to again on another call we were talking about send out cards and really utilizing the program. That is a $90 membership or so monthly. And once you're in it monthly, you don't have to pay for each postcard as long as it's heartfelt, which means personalized. You can't just go send the same thing to everybody. But isn't a welcome to the neighborhood postcard that would have the front of the picture of the house on it and at time of application or contract to the buyer, listing agent? Could we make that stick? Could you set up a pre-approval campaign so that they get 3 heartfelts in the next 30 to 60 days? So a lot of these are not new ideas. They're just ideas that, they sound good. Like every event I go do, these people say, that's a great idea, but a lot of them don't do it, or they'll pull them off and do it once and try to send out cards or have a great approval gift or at closing gift or after closing follow-up or do follow-up 30-day calls to all the agents that closed on a deal, but then they fall off the wagon. Well, so while the ideas are good, you gotta have them make them stick. So if you liked anything I said today, right? List out what you would think would be the most effective for your office and your team based on where the leads are coming from. In other words, if you don't have any CCRs, you sure should be pressing on how people are talking, AI, some of them in our MP GPT, so you can get better results. We are up 6 current client referrals in 2 weeks because of better replies on text and email using the MP GPT and making sure that we're asking for referrals, which it automatically is embedding those in there with sales words and trigger words that get people to move and act on things. So if you're looking for a realtor appointment, how are you sending that email? Everything should be a little bit more crisp right now. If it's send out cards that you like, get a process in place and stop playing with 17 different things. Have 7 that go really, really good. Where do you start? Went over a lot of stuff. Before, during, and after. How do you look before? Do you have a good presentation? How do you look after? Do you have a great follow-up system for post-closing clients and how you look in front of them? Not just 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. What's it look like? What's the content they get from you? Like right now, I know all of my past clients are getting summer series. When that's done, they're going to get the fall series. I know I'm passing it on to a realtor to say, hey, you can implement this if you'd like to copy it. I can help you with it. Bringing value in the downtime, just like an employer would do, you would do with the employer list, sending out different packets to the HR person who helped do the deal, or at least notifying them, hey, we had a great closing. You probably already have the survey you could send to them as well. So while they're all great ideas, and technically I've been taught that any activity is going to get you some business. Well, if you systemize it and can make it stick, imagine the growth you start to have in your team. So if I focus for the next week or two on really fine-tuning current client referrals, I'll bet you after 2 weeks, because of the role play we've done, the focus that we've had, the tracking that we've had, the conversations we have in a team meeting about how to ask, the emails that are going out, the replies on text messages where we're seeing thank yous going out. If we're paying attention to those for a couple week period of time, you're going to get a lot more activity from current clients that are referring you. It's there. That's what it means with any activity builds results. So when you take these in though, do you think none of that would stick with yourself or your team? Like I've caught myself saying, where I see clients win in today's market, it's because that's the line that I know is triggering salespeople or people who want to do business. That's triggering them to do the sale more likely than saying, yeah, rates are up and they kind of stink and it's not that great. So what are the lines your team is mastering, right? This is becoming the master of your craft. There's a lot that goes with implementing systems. It's not the one who implements the most. It's the one who has the best systems implemented and they run tightly and produce results. So I would also go back and look at any of them that don't produce results. So again, where do I start? Before, during, and after. What's your look on before? How you look when you meet a new partner, a new client? What's your look on during when you have a partner in process and a client in process? What does it look like after when you have that client and real estate agent afterwards? And are you upselling to the financial planner, CPA? Are all of that included in what we're doing? So you start breaking down before, during, after, and you have one system in before, one in during, one in after. Now I'm going to do another one in before, another one in during, another one after. I would definitely start with before, and I would definitely go to during next, because those is the progress of where business will come from in your pipeline. So don't build quick systems when we're down that don't last. Make them a simple enough way that anyone on your team could do it if one was off sick. Think about what I just said. Do it in a way that you could easily just say, hey, Susie, you're running all this. Hey, Peter, you're running this today. And they could easily do it. So all our team members know how to send out cards. I had a couple off this week of moving, and another guy was able to help with some of the tasks to keep us afloat and postcards going out and things that were needed to be done. Are they involved in mortgage coach? Are you training the whole team, or are you just letting one person do it and we're never ongoing? Income calculations. Had another call with a guy where he's talking about training his team. Some guys are moving at a pace that needs to move faster when the time is down. Like when we're busy, we tend to run like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, what's next? And when we're slow, we kind of say, you know, you get that Eeyore crap going on throughout the office. Man, I'm telling you, don't be the guy, I was going to say, are you the one starting that? Don't be the guy who's Eeyoring it out. Be as busy as you can with activity that sticks in the results as you progress through your week. So we're never slow. We're implementing heavy. Like right now, we're working on a webinar with 5 partners that are recording different sections about investment property, from myself to team members about the mortgage to LLCs to a financial planner will be jumping on about 1031 exchanges, to a CPA will be jumping on about different things that they're offering now that are good to the market and paying attention to. So, man, I'm telling you, what are you doing during your downtime? We did Mortgage Planner University during our downtime. I had 46 clients go through that this last month of videos and hours watched of our team training them how to buy right, how to sell right. Passport to Carolinas. That was built in the downtime. How was yours look? What do you look like for relocation? There's so many, that's what I meant by there's so many facets in our business that you just got to pick one, start with before, during, and then after, and then circle back. But don't just do them because we're slow. Do them so they stick. Now is the time to really define your systems and how you run. Don't be on autopilot on the database. Have that summer series going out. This is the focus when it tends to slow down, and then they stick, then it slows down, you build more, it sticks, and your floor starts to stay at a level that continues to increase. Even when you're not busy, keep going up. Have a great week. Let's crush it.